Jojo Feeney, the Creative Control Network, and his pro wrestling tea store.
What more needs to be said? Joe, I sent you. They're all on the list. Let me say, I sent you a YouTube clip in our what you call it, in our thing. Do you have that?
Yes.
Can you play that? It's like a minute and a half. I want you to explain something to me afterwards.
Yeah.
Can I also tell you another thing that Joe is now doing?
Mm-hmm.
He's doing Patreon watch-alongs.
Yeah.
Watch-alongs?
Yeah. Who are the two guys that are with it? Because I've never heard of either of these guys either.
You got Justin Henry, of course.
Who?
He's an author and a columnist.
For what?
Columnist for What Culture. He also co-wrote the book Titan.
Oh God,
Titan
he's
Sinking.
one of those What Culture guys.
He's on What Culture. He's on a few different sites.
Jesus Christ,
And
bro!
then,
Those guys are such marks. It's ridiculous.
The other guys.
Have you ever seen those? Have you ever listened to those guys? Those What Culture guys?
No.
They're YouTube videos.
They're like English guys, and
Yeah.
they're just a bunch of. They're your typical smart marks,
Right.
like stereotyped, like to the T, you know. And like they're experts on the business, but they're just a bunch of marks, you know,
Right.
that watch the shows. So.
And who's the other guy?
That's MLJ.
Who?
MLJ. He runs CZW Dojo Wars, and he's also been a commentator.
What is that?
and It's like the CZW.
You make it sound like CZW Dojo Wars is something that we would know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like this.
Exactly.
Well, you know CZW, right?
Right, but
So
what the hell's Dojo
Dojo
Wars?
Wars is like their students and some guys looking for experience. Jay George has wrestled there. Brian Pillman Jr. has wrestled there. Joey Janela, so they have some talent on those shows. So he's the booker over there.
Okay.
So the Booker CZW's on your show?
The booker is the
Hey, you guys have
CZW
been watching-
Dojo Wars.
Just no offense, okay, but I've seen a lot of CZW, and they've had a lot of garbage backyard wrestling over the years. I mean that's an irrefutable fact. I mean, they do a lot of.
You got to
stuff
remember,
on those
Joe
shows.
used to be a backyard wrestler, so he likes
exactly.
that
Yeah,
type
very
of stuff.
successful. Very successful.
Play this clip.
So successful.
is
Never
this-
heard
Play
of
this YouTube clip.
Oh, I was going to ask which message it was in. All right, I got it now.
There's actually 2 announcements to be made here, so get ready. Number 1 announcement. The podcast is now officially on iTunes. I'm going to put the link down below so you can click on it, you can listen to it, and just to remind you, this is not just the audio version of the version that's been on YouTube. This is a new re-edited version of the podcast, so it's not just the same show. So go download it, go give it a listen, and hey, give it a 5-star rating. Like, do something with your life. Come on. And the other announcement, I'm very glad to say, just over the weekend, I was talking to Joe Feeney, who of course runs Creative Control Network and is a producer on Keepin It 100. We've now agreed that I'm going to officially run an official Keepin It 100 YouTube page, which I will also put a link for down below. I'll be uploading a lot of classic content, a lot of new content there. Also going to say, a lot of that older content has that very annoying "It's Hughezy, hello" clip in it that drives everybody mad, and I'm very sorry, but that would take me hours and hours and hours to go back and re-edit all of them, just take that clip out. But for new clips, that's not going to be there. But regardless, click on that link for the Keepin It 100 official page. Remember to say subscribe here for announcements, and remember to download the podcast, because this is going to be funny stuff. There's a whole bunch of new ones coming. Stay tuned. It's Hughezy. Bye-bye.
All right, I'm going to ask some questions.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to ask some questions to both of you. Okay, Conan, are you
Right.
still? Is this Keepin It 100 still your podcast? Like this is your baby,
Yep.
right? Okay. Did you know that Hughezy is now running the Keepin It 100 YouTube page?
No.
Okay, Joe.
Yes.
Did you think it would have been necessary maybe to tell Conan that there's a Keepin It 100 YouTube page?
Here's what I was thinking. He used to put the clips up, so he said, "Would you mind if I put the clips up again, and I'll start putting up new clips?" And I said, "No, go ahead." But there's no official, there's not like a contract or anything like that. He's going to put it on YouTube, and you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 minutes of listens or something like that. So I said, do it, and then once that happens, then we'll talk about what to do, as far as an official channel.
Okay, now
and
which
if
of the
there's money and
following did
stuff.
you make this guy who's usually do? Did you make him buy a T-shirt, or did you make him become a Patreon member for your show?
No, he gave him a show on the Creative Control Network.
That's true. He does have a show on the Creative
Okay,
Control Network.
and let me say this too. why are you taking people that are on the disco list and giving them and then putting them in charge of our YouTube page?
Because he did such an excellent job before. And actually, I'm very disappointed that he's going to take out the It's Hughezy hello. We're going to have to talk about that. I don't see why that should be removed from the clips.
Jesus Christ! But so we remember if somebody was let's go back to that. Hang on, I'm gonna go backtrack here because we need to discuss this. Okay, let's go back to this. This is reference when they opened the show. One of the emails from Andrew Kuchiensky was the subject was creative control becoming too big. Okay, and let me repeat this again. As Joe Feeney continues to raid the territories and bring a new up-and-coming talent as global podcast syndicate, the Creative Control Network, is there any worry that the quality of K100 would go downhill with Joe taking on too many responsibilities? I mean, it's bad enough that Joe can't fix his horrendous Delco accent. He sounds like the heroin addict asking for change at Wawa sometimes. He also can't fix that audio glitch after the disco glitch each week. Don't you think he may be spread too thin and sort of cap needs to be enforced, limiting the number of acts he can manage on creative control? Okay, so I'm bringing that email up to pose the question again. Do we have a situation here, Conan, where Joe is becoming a rogue operative in the Keepin It 100 podcast?
Kind of. It's well, I just think he's trying to.
He's cutting into the Keepin It 100, but he is kind of taking creative control. Not only over his network, but over this show. Have you noticed that?
I don't agree.
Excuse me?
I don't agree with that.
No, he has not.
Well, did you make it? Was it a corroborated decision to open up the Keep It 100 YouTube page and who to put in charge of it? Or was that just a decision that you decided to make on your own?
Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of, he asked, and I figured it was a good idea. He was going to be he put the clips up anyway in the past, so I figured it was good for the show to have the clips back up on YouTube. People seem to enjoy them, and I figured it would drive them back to the podcast.
Conan, are you disappointed that he didn't bring this up to you? That I had to reveal this in this manner?
1,000%. Because now I think, what else has he been doing that we don't know about?
Exactly. Let's do this. Let's do this, Conan. I think this will be good for the show, and maybe we'll ask the listeners if this is a correct course of action. Do you think that Joe should be placed on probation?
Oh man,
for his actions, his rogue actions.
Wouldn't be the first time I was on probation.
I'm asking Conan this question. Do you think that Joe should be placed?
No, we gave him a lot of shit. So
okay, but are his actions under review?
Yes.
Okay, so the actions are under review.
Here was my motivation. If he does a good job with it and it becomes a monetary stream for the show, then I was thinking in that way maybe we could get a good YouTube following going.
Wait a second. You know me and Conan don't really go on the Facebook stuff and all that. That's kind of like your baby and stuff and everything. But when you talk about monetizing, okay, when were you going to tell us that this page was going to start making money if you haven't even brought up that you were starting a YouTube page and you got Hughezy to run it?
Right. Well, I didn't want to have the page start and then, it didn't really hit. So I was going to wait until it got a little bit of a following. And like I said, you need 1,000 subscribers to begin to monetize a YouTube channel. So once the subscribers went up, say 700, 800, I was going to let you guys know, hey, this is coming. Hopefully we get past 1,000 and we'll start making a couple bucks off it.
That's going to be that will be looked at under the review.
Okay.
Okay, that will be that. We're going to review all this.
Yeah.
And we might have to investigate it. But there's definitely some questionable things.
Are you willing to be cross-examined?
Oh yeah, of course.